Hey, good morning and welcome to Mornings with Mike. It helps if Mike has a mic to join you this morning. I hope your day has started off absolutely excellently so far. I appreciate those of you that are getting up early and joining me. If you're joining live, thank you. If you are watching later, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And as I'm sharing these messages and we're sharing this journey through the Bible, if you have somebody that could stand to hear a message like this, make sure that you share it with them. That would be a great way to help spread the word, spread our own faith, and share the messages that Jesus shared with us. So this morning, I'm going to get right into it. Good morning, Bill. Bill says he was afraid. See, I have this now. I can click on this. So I was afraid I had to lip read the message. That would, I don't have the ability to run through that. I don't have the ability to lip read it. So I figure if I can't, I should make sure and turn my mic on. So this morning, I'm going to be sharing Psalm 30, verse 5. And it's, "For his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may last through the night, but joy comes with the morning." Now, each day when I'm sharing this, I share these Monday mornings. Each day or week when I'm sharing from the New Living Translation version here. And I'll read that again. Psalm 30, verse 5. "For his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may last through the night, but joy comes with the morning." See, we're taught to fear God's anger, but he never stays angry for too long, right? It's this time that passes, and his happiness is in you, and it's a lifelong trait. It's restorative and it's refreshing. And we all move through our lives and we experience times of difficulty and pain, right? That's the weeping. We experience frustrations. We experience times that are hard. We all collectively as a nation, as a society, as a world, are experiencing tough times right now. It would be foolish to say, well, gosh, this just isn't a big deal, because it is, right? But this is going to be a blip in time. Ultimately, we are going to get through this. And where we talk about, these are things that they last briefly. Even though it may seem like an eternity while we're experiencing it, right? It might seem like a really long time while we're venturing through that. Now, barring the things that are outside of our control, because I'm one that tries really hard to focus on what's within our control. Oftentimes, the pain and the frustrations that we experience are products of our own actions, right? It's a careless attitude. It's us being foolish or having indifference towards others or towards God. And so a lot of times when we have that difficulty and that frustration, that, where we feel like God is angry with us, where we're trying to make it through that night, where we feel like he's got that anger and it's directed exactly towards us, oftentimes that is simply brought on because of our own indifference. It's brought on because of our own actions. Hey, good morning, Arthur. It's nice to see you this morning, man. So, and here's an example. I'm going to get off track here maybe for just a second, but I was listening to our pastor at our church yesterday, and he was sharing where they were talking about the 10 plagues that God brought on Egypt, and he was angry, right? And these 10 plagues, the way Pastor Todd was likening it, he was saying, hey, what if 9 of those were just the warning, right? The 10th one was what he had to bring. And so each of those times, it's like there's this warning. He's saying, hey, you need to do this. You need to change. He's bringing this upon us before he has that final anger. He's a just and fair God. And the rod of the Father is short-lived, right? That momentary pain and affliction, having a tough time speaking sometimes this morning, the momentary pain and affliction that we receive from his hand is for our benefit, right? That momentary pain going to the Israelites. He's like, hey, you need to let the Israelites go. It's a momentary pain and affliction. If the benefit is, okay, well, let them go and this will stop, right? The plagues will stop. And it's the same thing in our own lives. And so as Psalm 30 verse 5 is saying here, like, for his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. So there is a long-term benefit if we're paying attention. When we're called according to his good purpose, God's anger will always turn into favor if we take the time to listen and act. It'll always turn into favor. One moment of frustration, one moment of criticism, one moment can be transformed into a lifetime of grace. And it really was speaking to me yesterday as I was listening to my pastor preach, and he said, this short-lived, oftentimes, and I'm trying to think exactly how he had said it specifically. He says, you can't know God's true grace. Like, you can know and accept God's true grace if you have been a sinner. If you've created that frustration, if you have truly fear God and you've experienced that difficulty and pain, on the flip side, as you turn the corner, you truly can experience God's full grace. And as I was reading this, again, I go through this, sometimes a day, sometimes several days before, and I say, man, I want to share that message. And this message was speaking to me, though he wasn't preaching on Psalm 30, as I'm listening to him speak and preach, and I had this picked out. I'm like, this is what's speaking to me right now. This is truly what I need to share. And so understand that you can have a whole lifetime of grace. It starts with our own actions. It starts with eliminating that carelessness or eliminating the indifference that we might have towards our own faith, towards God, towards other people, towards what's going on right now in the world. You have the ability to make that decision and wipe that away. Part of it comes through really exploring your own faith, reconnecting with God, prayer, right? Hey, good morning, Joey. Good morning, Weldon. It's good to see you guys. And Joey says, one moment can translate into a lifetime of grace. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That it can just be transformed. Part of that is we have to be willing to accept it, right? Think of it this way, like tears are short-lived. Oftentimes, and just the learning that happens when we experience either a mental pain, a mental anguish, a frustration, a real physical pain, something actually physically happens to us, and we have those tears. They come rolling down our face, right? And we experience that, but they're for a short time. Ultimately, they dry up. And they can turn into a deep happiness and a joy because there is a lesson that's been learned. There's something that's been inserted for us if we're paying attention. That some of that, I believe, is God's grace, right? It's speaking to us and saying, hey, you need to learn this. I don't want to stay angry with you. You need to learn and accept this. And when we learn it, it dries up. And we're able to experience the true joy and happiness and grace of God. And as I was thinking this morning, I said, I want to share something on some joy and happiness. We need joy and happiness. So keep this in mind. No matter where you are at, no matter if you have created part of your own pain or frustration through indifference or missing, failing to connect, right? If you've been a participant, so you feel like the weight of the world is on you right now, and you feel like God is angry, know that he may be. You may have been a participant in that, but it's short-lived. He's a fair and just God, right? His anger lasts only a moment. His favor lasts a lifetime. Keep this in mind. No night lasts forever. Cameron says, if I ever feel like God's mad at me, I ask myself, well, what did you do? Right? Good morning, Ken. Good to see you, man. Yeah, and I got it. Cameron says, yeah, what did I do? So sometimes, and it is. And sometimes there's just another message that's trailing that. It may be something that someone else has done that you're a participant in, and God's saying, hey, you need to heed this message. So as I was saying, keep this in mind. No night lasts forever, right? There's always sunshine at the end of it. The sun will always rise. The sun will always rise. There's always going to be new blessings. There's always going to be a new day. There's always going to be a new morning that clears all of that darkness. So I encourage you today, for those of you that are watching this today, right? Know that the dawn is here as we start to speak, depending on where you're at in the world, maybe well into the day, but the dawn is here. I encourage you, find your blessings and share them. Seek the blessings, seek the lesson. I'm really having a tough time talking this morning. Some Mondays it's like that, man. Seek the blessings, seek the lesson, and make sure that you take the time to share those today. So I really appreciate those of you that took the time to get up and join me live. I do. If you know of someone that could stand to hear this message or sit to hear this message, share this message with them. And I do this every Monday morning, 7:15 a.m. Mornings with Mike. I would love for you to join me. I have the ability now even to have guests. Joey, I should have you on here. Arthur, maybe if we could connect and so forth, or some other people, that would be really fun to just have a really positive message, have a conversation on a verse in the Bible. I do it so that you can have a great day and a great week and a good foundation to start on. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you're on Facebook, click the notification button so you get notified when I go live. With that, God bless you, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.